In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of CartQ and share with you how you can automate your restaurant's marketing to the point where once you have everything set up initially, you really aren't going to have to touch it again unless you want to make a change. So that's the whole point of CartQ, is to bring together some of the very best marketing strategies together under one system so that it's truly set and forget and automated. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So I'm on the CartQ.com homepage right now, and what I want to do first is give you an overview of the 4 types of offers that are purchased offers. So subscription boxes, discount cards, certificates, and e-gift cards, and what makes each one of these unique from each other. So e-gift cards function like traditional physical gift cards in that they carry a balance and don't have to be used all at once. So people really understand these already, so they make great gifts, and it's just a classic. You can also offer a bonus amount that buyers can keep for themselves or include in their gift if they're giving to someone else. Certificates are different from e-gift cards in that there's no running balance, so the entire deal needs to be redeemed on one visit. So for example, get 2 $25 certificates for $40, or another use case is get a 10-visit punch card for $100. You can set it up to where they can buy 1 certificate, or they could buy 1, 2, or 3, or 4 certificates, or you can also set it up so that they have to buy a bundle so that it's fixed in order to make it cost effective to get the deal. Next, we have discount cards. Now, what is a discount card? A discount card is a collection of certificates, or essentially coupons, that's sold for a deeply discounted price compared to the amount that could be saved. So when you set up each coupon, you can specify the amount that the person can save, and then the system will sum all that up and it will show them how much they could save. Usually we're going to have an expiration date, so we can make it valid for 6 months or a year even. It's usually sold for around $20 to $25. And one of the great things about this is that you make money when the initial sale is made on the discount card, and then you also make money each time the person comes in to redeem the offer. So it's kind of like a double dip. Now, will people actually pay money for what amounts to a collection or a bundle of coupons? And the answer is yes, absolutely. People love these. They're really popular. And finally, we have subscription boxes. Now, subscription boxes are a fairly new concept for restaurants, but they work like a physical product subscription box that many people are already familiar with. So the way it works is the customer pays up front for a 3, 6, or 12-month subscription when they check out, and they or the gift recipient will receive a new certificate via email or text either once per month, every 2 weeks, or once a week, and you specify how often they get those. So you can work out the cost to make sure that it's cost effective for you. Subscription boxes make great gifts because the recipients are reminded of the thoughtfulness of the gift each time they receive the certificate, potentially for an entire year. And in this example here, it shows you when you're going to get the next certificate. When the next certificate automatically arrives, they get an email or text, and then it shows up on their subscription box page. And once they redeem one of them, it'll cross it out. On the checkout page for our 4 purchased offer types, the buyer can choose a thoughtful gift certificate theme for their gift recipient, and a themed gift certificate PDF will be generated and emailed. Marketing blasts provide a way to send out an email and a text message to your entire list on a one-time or recurring basis in order to promote a sale of an e-gift card, certificate, discount card, or subscription box. And this is what allows you to set up all of your monthly, quarterly, or holiday promotions ahead of time and never have to touch them again unless you want to make a change. So this is where the very powerful automation functionality comes into play. A sign-up gift offer is what you'll use when you're trying to provide an incentive for someone to sign up for the very first time. Customers can scan a QR code at your table to view your menu and at the same time choose to sign up for your free gift. A calendar card is an 8.5 by 11 flyer or postcard with one special offer for each month of the year that you can directly mail to homes or conveniently print and distribute at your location for use as placemats, bag stuffers, or even having a stack at your counter. And the idea is this: by mailing one postcard with 12 offers on it, representing 1 offer per month, the recipient might be more likely to put the postcard in their fridge in order to get the deals throughout the year. And to reduce mailing costs, you can co-op with a real estate agent or an insurance agent for mailing out a calendar card via USPS Every Door Direct Mail. You can get the customer to come back soon by sending out a bounce back offer after they have redeemed another offer or filled out a review form. You can send out a "We Miss You" offer if a customer hasn't interacted with the system for a certain period of time, like 1 month, 2 months, or 6 months, and so forth. You can blast out a giveaway offer to your list on a one-time or recurring basis, which is perfect for when you're having a special event, promotion, or if there's an upcoming holiday. Set up celebration offers to go out for your patron's birthday, half birthday, or anniversary. You can display your local check-in offer page on a TV or tablet at your location. Customers can scan the QR code and enter their email or phone to receive their points. And the dynamic QR code automatically refreshes on the screen every 15 minutes to prevent misuse by customers not being physically at your location. Staff members use the points entry offer to award points to the customer when the customer doesn't have any other offer they're redeeming on that visit. You can print table tents with a QR code so customers can easily view their points entry certificate using just their phone number or email. And when the customer scans the QR code, they can click to view your online menu or optionally join your reward program to receive their sign-up gift, or simply earn their points via a redemption on their points entry certificate by a staff member. Customers can spend the points they've accumulated on rewards that you set up ahead of time. 1 point earned is the same as $1, so if a customer spends $100, they'll receive 100 points. Use reservations to fill slow times by offering an incentive on certain days of the week and times of day, or just to provide a way for a customer to make a normal reservation. For example, you can offer a reservation that comes with a discount of 10% off at 2 p.m. with regular pricing during prime time hours. Customers can scan a QR code and enter their name, phone, and party size in order to join your waitlist at a particular location. And when their table is ready, your staff can send a text message notification to the customer and mark their record as fulfilled. Patrons and staff do not need to download any app or remember any password. All certificates are easily accessible via one click from any email or text message. Redemptions can be done on the customer's device, or the staff member can scan the QR code to bring up the page on their own device. Or alternatively, the customer can click the Transfer to Staff button, which puts a certificate in the transferred list within the staff member's admin panel. The staff member enters the subtotal and their security PIN to complete the redemption. Optionally, redirect the customer to a review form after a certificate is redeemed. Keep the reviews private for your analysis, or have positive reviews, which are 4 to 5 star reviews, display automatically on your business page. Each account gets its own business page, which is essentially a one-stop shop for everything that your customers will need, both when they are logged in and not logged in as a visitor. If a patron is logged in, they'll see a link for MyQ, which is a list of all their certificates that they have access to via signups, birthdays, special offers, purchases, and so forth. CartQ offers a white label CNAME option for franchises and business groups that allows them to use a custom domain for all of the business pages for all their members. You can put a JavaScript code snippet on your website that will pop open a bubble in the bottom right corner of your screen. Visitors can send a text message via web form, and you can set up additional buttons to rotate a special offer, make a reservation, or go to any custom URL. When a visitor sends a text into the website bubble, a new text thread starts on their phone, which is easy and familiar for them, just like texting with a friend. You and your staff have full visibility into every conversation via the one-click web-based text thread for staff, even as threads get reassigned to and handled by different staff members. So those are all the main highlights of CartQ. So now I want to take you through the back end, starting with our purchased offer types. So that's these first 4 with the $ here, starting with the e-gift card. So in our sample, we have buy 50, get $15 free. So I'm going to click the edit button. First, we'll take a look at our title. Now, it doesn't matter so much what we have for our title for e-gift cards because the system automatically handles what's shown to the customer in terms of the title. We also have an internal note, which will just be displayed to us and not the customer. I did want to jump over to a certificate for a second and show you that on certificates, subscription boxes, and discount cards, we do want to exclude the price paid in our title. And this is in case we are giving it as a gift. We don't want the price paid to be displayed to the customer. But for e-gift cards, it's not an issue because the system automatically handles the title. For our pricing and quantity, we just say how much the e-gift card amount is, and then we can say the maximum quantity allowed to be purchased per order. So if we set a quantity a maximum of 4 and the person purchases 4, then the total will be $200 in one e-gift card. For the description, this allows us to have a custom description for this e-gift card, but we can also have predefined offer descriptions set up ahead of time. So in this case, I have 3, and this would be under setup predefined offer descriptions. So I'm going to show you that now. I just created one here that is called default offer description. And this is just going to be my standard one that I use for all offers. So that way they appear in this drop-down box and I can just choose the one I want. If I also want to add some additional custom description, that will go before the predefined offer description, and I can do that in the box here. We can indicate if we want this to be a featured item. So our featured items page is on our business page, and I'm going to show you that here briefly. And it looks like this. And if we view it on a mobile device, on our phone, it's going to look more like this. Buyers will have the option of giving this to the gift recipient if they want to, if they are giving it as a gift, or they can keep it for themselves and it'll just be added to their amount. Typically, we're not going to have an expiration date on our e-gift cards because gift cards in general usually don't carry an expiration date, but that option is available on e-gift cards and any of our other offer types as well, but it's probably going to be used more on our free offers and other purchased offer types. We can have up to 3 reminders go out after their order that indicate if they have a balance or quantity still remaining. So this will help increase our redemption rate. So once they use the entirety of their certificate or e-gift card, then they will not get any more reminders. We can indicate when we want the reminder to be sent out, what time of day. Free checkout is something we're going to be using primarily during testing, but we have the option available if we want to enable free checkout for everyone, or if we want to have it just for ourselves or a friend, we can put a list of email addresses here, and when you go to checkout using those email addresses, it will just bypass the checkout process through the payment processor. Under offer status, we can set the status to paused if we want to stop selling it or having people sign up for it temporarily or permanently, but we can also have it still be showing as active under reporting because we're going to be having redemptions come in for a time period after we've paused the offer. We can set up custom tags beforehand where we can tag people upon sign up or upon redemption with a custom tag. So in this case, we have 2 tags set up, Black Friday buyers and Black Friday redeemers. So we'll set up the Black Friday redeemers to be tagged upon redemption and the Black Friday buyers to be tagged upon sign up. And under our custom tags, so it's under here, under setup and custom tags, this is where we can set up our custom tags. We have 3 different types of custom tags that are triggered by certain events that happen in the system. And we also have an option for just general custom tags. So these general custom tags are the ones that are going to show up here under the custom tagging when we're going to tag them upon sign up or upon redemption. The other custom tags are going to show up in other places, and I'll show you that in just a second. But the other types are going to be reward points. So you can have it as a threshold. Once they achieve a threshold of 200 reward points, they're tagged with a certain tag. You can have any different number of thresholds that you want for reward points. We also have one for check-ins and redemptions. Once they've done 10 check-ins and redemptions, they can be tagged with this. And then we also have a third type, which is called a last review sentiment. So if the last review they've left was a positive review, 4 to 5 stars, they can be tagged with that, or negative 1 to 3 stars. We can set up review forms ahead of time under setup, review forms, and then we can choose the one we want to have displayed to the patron once they do a redemption. So I have one set up here called Rate Your Experience, and I'll show you that in a second when I demonstrate a redemption. We can choose a bounce back offer to go out after their final redemption. So a bounce back offer is just a way to get them to come back to the store soon. So we have these bounce back offers set up ahead of time. This one is set to go out 2 days later. So after their final redemption, that means the certificate is marked as completed and there's no balance or quantity remaining. It's going to send this out 2 days after that and entice them to come back with a free appetizer in your next visit. We also have the ability of creating some PDFs here so that we can use to print out and use for various purposes. We have 8.5 by 11 table tent, 5 by 7 photo size, 4 by 6 photo size. This is an 8.5 by 11. It creates a page where you can cut out into 4 squares. And we also have 3.5 by 2-inch business cards. We have also an 8.5 by 11 cutout that'll create 9 squares. And then we just have our QR code option if we want to have a QR code printed out. Next, we'll cover certificates. So I have a $25 dine-in certificate. For our title, we don't want to include that we're going to get this as a discount. We just want to say $25 dine-in certificate. Offer tag is available on our offer types that are publicly accessible. And so in this case, it's going to go right to our checkout page. So if you go to cartq.com/25 dine-in certificate, that'll go right to the checkout page, and I'll show you that in a second. For certificates, we have a few options for our pricing and quantity. So first, we want our retail value per certificate. So this is the amount that the buyer will get that they are able to redeem at the store. The amount that they paid is over here in price paid per certificate. For the quantity option, we have 3 choices. So we choose single, 1 certificate per order. If we don't want them to be able to choose their quantity, they would just be buying 1 for $20. Or if we want them to be able to choose their quantity, we choose flexible, and then we can say the maximum quantity allowed to be purchased per order. So if I say 4, the most they can purchase is 4, so it'd be $80, and they'd get $100, and that would be 4 separate certificates they'd be able to redeem. They would have to redeem on 4 separate visits. And finally, we have the fixed quantity option, which is when they have to buy so many at a time. So you would specify the number that they have to buy, and then they don't get to pick. It's just going to automatically sum the amount. So if I say 4, it's going to cost $80, and they're going to get 4 certificates, and they would have to redeem each certificate on separate visits. You can set it up so that it can be redeemed any day of the week and any time of day, or you can specify certain days of the week or certain times of the day. For example, if you only want the offer to be able to be redeemed during your slow times, if it's a really good offer or just because of the promotional nature of it. So this applies to certificates and other promotional in nature type of offers. So all the free offers, these options don't really apply to e-gift cards, because e-gift cards are one of those things that you just would accept at face value and can be redeemed any time of day. Marketing blasts are what allow us to automate our purchased offer promotions to be sent out on a regular basis. For our schedule, we have a few different options here. So we can choose to send it out one time, and that's just on a certain date at a certain time. We can choose yearly holiday. We can pick from all of our different major holidays, as well as restaurant holidays like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Black Friday, for example. We can choose the number of days before that day to send out the offer. For our sales restriction, we can have an unlimited number of sales, or we can have a checkout window, meaning that it's going to end so many days after the send date. So in this case, if I choose to send it out 30 days before St. Patrick's Day and end 30 days after, that means it's going to end right on St. Patrick's Day. We can also choose to have an all-time maximum quantity sold. So let's say we only want to sell 20 and then have the sales stop. And finally, we can combine the two, the checkout window and the maximum quantity sold within window. So that way, if the maximum quantity happened to be sold before the checkout window ends, then it will stop the sales at that time. We also can choose a repeating interval. So this is where we have some options here, like sending it out once every 2 months, every quarter, or on the first of every month, every year. Some people like to have a quarterly e-gift card sale where every quarter they open it up and they sell 20 e-gift cards on the 1st of January, April, July, October, for example. Our final marketing blast schedule option is send immediately upon saving. When we pick this option, it will send immediately when we click save, but we also have the ability to have the sales restriction, checkout window, and maximum quantity allowed to be sold. Those options just simply take effect on today's date. The marketing blast recipients we can send to everyone or who has one of these custom tags. So as we went over custom tags before, this is where we can choose to send it to people that have a certain number of points that they've earned, a certain number of check-ins, of threshold of check-ins, whether they've submitted a positive review as their last review, or our general custom tags, which are like our Black Friday buyers, Black Friday redeemers. We can have a custom email subject, a custom email message, and a custom text message. We can send a sample message to ourselves upon saving this form, and it'll say who to send it to, which is this user that I'm logged in as right now. We can have up to 3 reminders go out before the sale ends. So in this case, the first marketing blast is going to go out 30 days before St. Patrick's Day, but then we're going to have a reminder go out 14 days, 7 days, and 3 days before the sale ends on St. Patrick's Day. Because we set a 6-month expiration date on the certificate, we have the option to send up to 3 expiring soon reminders. So for everyone that buys, in 3 months before the expiration date, it's going to have a reminder go out 2 months before and 30 days before expiration. For the offer image, we have a few different options. If we want a really simple option, we can choose account logo. Or if we have a custom image that we want to use just for this offer, we can choose upload image. We have the ability to overlay our logo in the top right corner. One of the options here is the image zoom style. So we can choose graphics mode for images that need to be entirely visible at all times, like logos, graphics, or when text is embedded within the image itself. Or we can choose scenic mode, most commonly, which are images that can be cropped slightly, like food pictures, scenery, or any picture taken with a phone. If we have images that we're going to be using repeatedly for different offers, we can choose our media library option. The media library allows us to upload all of our images to the library. We can put them in categories under Setup Media Categories. That way they become available to our offers here by choosing a category and then picking the image. Let's say we have a media library image that we've used on a variety of different offers throughout the system, but then at a later date, we want to apply a filter to the image, or we've modified the image in some way to improve it. What we can do is go into the media library, locate the image, click edit, and then overwrite and upload the new image over top of the old one, and it will take effect everywhere in the system where this media library image has been picked. So that covers our options for e-gift cards and certificates, which kind of go together in terms of the options that we have in the back-end admin panel. So next we're going to go to the checkout page. Now on the checkout page, there's a few things I wanted to point out. Because we are having a sales restriction on this certificate, we show how many we have left to be sold. We also have a checkout window, so we're showing when the sale ends. And this is also an important thing. Because we have an expiration date, we want to disclose to the buyer that it's only valid for 6 months after they purchase. In the middle here, we have our description. And then as far as the login, if you're a new customer, you can just fill out your information here and then check out. If you're a returning customer, rather than have passwords that people often forget, we have it send a code, a one-time login code to your phone or email. So if I click that, I can just enter my phone number, click to send the code, and then it logs me in. Now I can update my information if anything has changed and proceed with the checkout. Because this certificate uses a flexible quantity option, we can choose our quantity here. We can send this as a gift to someone else. We can enter a note to the recipient optionally with a few emojis. We can send the e-gift at a later date. And you can also choose from a variety of different gift certificate themes depending on the occasion. And if a theme is chosen, a gift certificate PDF will be generated and attached to the email. And you can see that there are some generic ones here at the bottom that are just colors that work well to represent different sports teams. There's also a way to preview each certificate by clicking on that link and then cycling through them. And the certificates look like this. For discount cards, you have many of the same options that you have for certificates and e-gift cards, but I wanted to touch on the pricing. The pricing is usually going to be around $20 to $25. The other thing is the expiration date. So usually you want to give at least 6 months, 6 months, or 1 year are both good options. And the reason is because if you have 12 offers, you want to give them adequate time. For discount cards and subscription boxes, we have this concept of squares. So we'll click on our squares on the listing page. Each square represents one offer that they get. So when we edit that, we have a few options. In the title, we just say what they get. In the description, we can give them more specifics, and this will show in the pop-up window that comes up, which I'll show you that in a second. For the savings value, we just enter how much they can save, and the savings value for all discount squares is tallied and shown as save up to on the discount card promotional pages. You can pick a separate image for each item, but you don't have to. You can choose this option, use discount card image, and it will just use the main image for all the squares. You don't have to have 12 squares, but if you do have 12, that's a really good number to shoot for because it gives them a good value. And next we'll take a look at our splash page. Now the splash page isn't quite so important for e-gift cards and certificates, but for discount cards it really is because this is where we get to see visually what it is that we're getting. And this isn't shown on the checkout page, so we probably want to link to this page when we're linking on social media. We see all 12 of our offers here, and we can click on each offer and view a pop-up where it shows what the description is that they get, as well as how long the certificates are valid for, which is what we chose for our expiration date. When we click to purchase, we get a checkout page that's just like the others. So in this case, a 12 deal discount card for $25, and we also get the gifting options as well. For subscription boxes, we can set our pricing, which is the amount that the customer will pay for the subscription box per month. So in this case, we have it set to $10, and the customer will have the option to purchase a 3, a 6, or a 12-month subscription box, and will pay for the entire amount up front. So it'll either be $30, $60, or $120. The box item certificate's frequency allows us to set how many times per month we want the certificates to go out. So we can say once per month, every 2 weeks, up to 2 times per month, or weekly up to 4 times per month. We can also set the time of day that we want the certificates to go out, and we can also set an expiration date if you want to have one. Now when we view our box items, you'll notice the cycle position. The system will start with cycle position 1, and it will award this certificate, and it will keep awarding the certificates in order of their cycle position as many times as necessary until the fulfillment is completed. So because of this, you'll probably want to have each offer be roughly the same value. The subscription box splash page is going to show the buyer exactly what it is that they're getting. So it's going to list out all the certificates that you have available. They can click on the details and view each one. And it's also going to show a note here that says exactly how it works. When the buyer clicks to purchase, they'll be able to choose the duration, which is the number of months. It'll show the number of certificates as well, and also the amount of the one-time payment. And they'll also have the option to give this as a gift. The sign-up gift is a free offer type that we're primarily going to be using to onboard new customers into our program. We have many of the standard options here available to us that we have on other offer types, like you can redeem only on certain days, only at certain times, expiration date, reminders when it's expiring, the time of day that it's sent. But there are a couple things I wanted to point out. So the first one is how often each patron can get this. We have 2 options for this. The first option is once per lifetime, and that's best for incentivizing the initial sign-up and prevent someone from getting this certificate over and over again. The other option is only 1 at a time. So this is best for ongoing website or social media promotions where you don't mind if somebody gets it over and over again, but they can only get the offer after they've redeemed the previous one. So they can only get it 1 at a time. The other thing I wanted to point out is the button for the online menu. This allows you to put a button for your online menu on the top of your splash page. This allows you to use the QR code feature to create table tents, where a customer can scan the QR code in order to view the online menu, but then they're also presented with the option to onboard into your program. So if we view the splash page, you'll see it puts the button here at the top, and then they have the option to click the sign up button, which takes them to the sign up page, and then they can onboard into your program. The calendar card is another type of offer that we can use to onboard customers into our program for free. And the way it works is we have one offer set up for each month of the year. The customer scans the QR code, and then they get a sign up page that gives them that offer for that month. So it's only valid through the end of that month. So they have to scan the code, they get the offer, and they have to use the offer for that month. The next month, they can do the same exact thing. And the whole point of this is to be sticky. We want this to go on the fridge. And because of this, it gives an incentive for a local professional to co-op with us to share in some of the printing or mailing costs. So we can distribute these through a variety of methods. We can put a stack of these on our counter. We can use them as placemats, or we can mail them out through Every Door Direct Mail. When we set up our squares, we don't have to have 12 offers. We can have fewer than 12, and the system will automatically repeat the offers until all the squares are full. But ideally, we'll have 12 offers, and that'll allow us to control which month the offer goes out in. So the position that it's in indicates the month. So January would be 1, February 2. So if we wanted to have a St. Patrick's Day offer, we could put that in position number 3. Now, when we go to edit our calendar card, there's a few things I wanted to show you. If you click on the PDF mailer section at the very bottom, we'll see that we can choose the colors. We can enter the text that goes in the middle section of the calendar card. So right here in this square. But then here at the bottom, we have this gray section, and there's a few things we can do with this. So down here in the bottom strip type, we can choose business card, or we can choose headline or subheadline. Headline or subheadline is if we're not co-oping with a professional and we just want to put anything maybe to reiterate what it is that they get. But if we're co-oping with an agent or a professional, we can choose business card. So beforehand, we'll set up our business card. So go to setup and business cards, and that gives us a way to enter a business card. So we just have some basic information we fill out, the agent name, the description, which is the smaller text. We can choose the colors to match their professional colors, a headshot, and then finally a logo. The last thing I wanted to point out is the start with offer for. So let's say we're mailing this out in April. We wouldn't want the top left offer to be January. So we want it to be April. So we would say the current month. So when we click save, the top left offer is going to be the current month, which is April. But if we want to have a little bit of lead time for printing, we can also say next month or 2 months from now and so forth. Next, we have 4 types of offers that are designed to go out to existing patrons to get them to come back soon. We have bounce back, we miss you, giveaway, and celebration. Bounce back offers are triggered to go out when your customer has interacted with the system in some way. So for example, if they've submitted a review or they've done a redemption. And you'll see various places throughout the system where you can choose a bounce back offer to go out after something has happened. And the main thing to point out here with the bounce back offer is send immediately or delayed. We can have it go out right when the thing is triggered or on a delay after so many days. So if I go here to the sign up gift, we'll see at the bottom, bounce back after redemption. We can choose from our bounce back offers here to go out after the redemption has happened. We miss you offers are for customers that haven't interacted with your system in a certain period of time. So in this example, it's set to 2 months. So if it's been 2 months since the customer has last submitted a review or done a redemption or done a check-in or any other type of interaction, this offer will be sent to them. Giveaway offers are for when we want to blast out an offer to our entire list. So in this example, we have a Father's Day promotion coming up, 2-for-1 entree special. We have some various options for our send schedule, so we can set this up to go out every year if we want to. We can simply choose yearly holiday and then choose from our list of holidays, and then we can choose the number of days we want to have it send out before the holiday, or we can also send it one time at a certain date and a certain time, or we can choose a repeating interval. If we want to have a monthly offer go out or a bi-monthly or quarterly or yearly, we can choose from those options here. And finally, we can just choose send immediately upon saving. Celebration offers covers birthdays, half birthdays, and anniversaries. So we choose which celebration it is, and then we choose how many days before to go out. The next 3 offer types, local check-in, points entry, and reward, are all based on whether or not we want to have our points and rewards enabled for our account. So if you go to Setup and Account Settings and go down to Points and Rewards, you can have it enabled or disabled here. The local check-in offer is an offer that's designed to be displayed on a TV or an iPad on location. So you can see our check-in offer here as an example. The customer scans the QR code and gets 5 points or however many points you specify every time they check in. The QR code automatically refreshes itself every so often to make sure that nobody can just take a picture of the QR code and then have a friend scan it all the time if they're not at your location. So when we go to edit the local check-in offer, we'll see some various options. We do want our offer tag to be a secret because we only want this loaded on devices that we control in our location. We can specify how many points per check-in they get. We can also set up a separate check-in offer per location, so we can choose which location this check-in offer belongs to, and we can choose up to 5 background slideshow images. The points entry offer is used for cases where the customer doesn't have any other certificate or offer that they're redeeming on that visit. So normally when they bring in an e-gift card or certificate or a sign-up gift, any of these other offer types, and they're redeeming that, when the staff member enters a subtotal, let's say it's $65, they'll get 65 points. But if they're just coming in on any other type of visit and they don't have a specific offer that they're redeeming, they can present their points entry certificate to the staff member, and that'll just allow them to get points for their visit. So if we take a look at the back end here, we'll see some various options. If you do have points and rewards enabled for your account, this is the offer that you'll want to have for your table tents. We can choose a sign-up gift for new registrations, and we can also show a button for our online menu at the top of the Express entry page. We can customize some various things on our PDF printouts, and then we click Save. And so now we're going to download our PDF table tent. So the customer sees this, they see the incentive that they get when they join, and also that they get 1 point for every dollar they spend. So when they scan the code, it's going to look like this. If you've checkmarked the box to view the menu, they can choose to view the menu, and they can also see the rewards that they will get. Now let's say I'm not a customer already and I enter my phone number or my email and I click Submit. It's going to detect that I'm not a customer, I can't locate my info, and it's going to take me to the sign up gift page where I can just fill out the form, and then it will take me to my certificate for points entry. But now let's say I am a customer already and I enter my phone number or email address again, it's going to take me right to the points entry certificate. So this is why we want to have this offer on our table tents, because it's going to kind of encompass all different possibilities. It's going to give us the incentive to onboard new customers by giving them a free appetizer. It's also going to tell them that they get points, and it's also going to allow them to view the menu. We can set up any number of rewards that we want to offer the customer, And the main thing is that we just want to set the number of points that it costs in order to get the reward. I would suggest having at least 2 just for variety, but that's up to you. Next, we'll take a look at the business page. The business page is a page that every account gets. When you go to your dashboard and you click on the links, this is going to give you these large buttons. When you click on business page, this is going to give you the page that you're going to want to link to from your website. So this is the page that's showing when I'm not logged in. I have a link in the top left that lets me go easily back to your website that I came from. And the options I have here are the featured items. When we are editing each offer, that is the type of offer that someone can sign up for, like our paid offers or our sign-up gift, we have the option when editing those offers to display that offer on the featured items page, and this is where it's going to show. If our points and rewards program is enabled, we'll see the points and rewards link here. And this is the same page that the customer will see when they scan the QR code on your table tent. So it's just another way that they can onboard themselves. They could do it at home if they wanted to. So now let's look at this from the perspective of a customer who's already logged in. A customer will automatically be logged in if they click a link from an email or a text message coming from the system. The other way they can log in is by clicking the login button up here. The login process is really easy. All they have to do is enter their phone number or their email address and they'll get a 6-digit code, so they don't have to remember any passwords. So if I enter my email address and click the button, I get the code, and now I'm logged in. And now you'll notice a few additional links at the top that we didn't see before when we weren't logged in. My queue shows all certificates that are currently available to me. So on a phone, you can easily scroll down and access the certificate you want. As certificates are used, they get a line crossed through them and get pushed to the bottom. And over time, as the list grows, they'll get put into archive so I can access them at a later date. I can also go directly to my points entry certificate, and I have a rewards link where I can redeem my points for rewards. Since I have 207 points currently, that's enough to get the free appetizer, but it's not enough to get the free entree, so that's crossed out. If I want to get the free appetizer, I can click on that. It tells me how many points it costs, and I can click Get. At that point, the certificate will show up under my queue, and it will have an expiration date, so I have to use it before then. I also have a few other options here under my username. My profile is where I can edit my information. I can view a ledger of my entire points history. I can see my purchase history, and I can also submit a ticket. Now let's walk through a redemption. So if I click on any of my certificates that I have access to under my queue, or if I click on my points entry certificate, I'm going to have the option to transfer to staff. Transferring to staff makes it easy for the staff member because they don't have to handle my phone, and it can even be done over the phone. Like for example, if an order is called in. When you click to transfer to staff, you click the button, and all this does is it puts it in the staff member's admin panel. So if I'm on the home, the dashboard, and I click transferred, I now see this in my admin panel, and I can click the redeem page. As a staff member, the other options I have, I can scan the QR code so it shows on my phone, or if the customer's okay with it and the staff member's okay with it, you can also handle the customer's phone and do the redemption right on the customer's phone. The page that's loaded is always the same no matter what method you use to access it. The staff member enters this full subtotal amount, so let's say it's $65. The location is pre-populated with the location that it was transferred to or the last location that the customer redeemed an offer from. They enter their PIN number, click submit, and the redemption is successful. If you have a review form set up, it will forward the customer to that page after that. The customer can rate their overall experience with 1 to 5 stars. You can pre-configure up to 3 questions. They can fill out a comments section. They can authorize the review to be displayed publicly. So if they checkmark this box and they enter 5 or 4 stars, then that's when it'll show up in the reviews list. And finally, they can also upload a photo of their experience. Reservation offers allows us a great way to fill slow times. So if we go to our example reservation offer, we can see that at 2 p.m. we can offer 20% off, and at 3 p.m. we can offer 10% off. If we click that, we go to the reservation form, which tells us when the reservation's at, how much we get off. We have a box for special requests, and we also can enter our party size. And this will create a certificate for us that we can redeem through the normal redemption process. There's a few things in the admin panel that we need to pre-configure in order to set up a reservation offer. The first is a reservation label. So we can create any number of labels, and you saw 20% off, 10% off. We could also have prime time. And with each label, we can create a description that says exactly the terms of the offer. Next, we set up our reservation schedules. Reservation schedules are simply a way to group together different reservation labels for different times of day. So for example, on Monday through Thursday, we want to have a special set of reservation labels available. So for Monday through Thursday, we check mark Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, days of the week. For our times of the day, we choose 2 p.m., 2:15, 2:30, 2:45, and we choose our 20% off label. Then at 3 p.m., we choose our 10% off label. We can also specify the maximum number of reservations we want to offer at that particular time slot. And last, we can set up our reservation blockouts. This just tells the system when we don't want to offer any reservations. We can choose a custom date, or we can choose holiday, and we have various holiday options available. So once you've chosen Black Friday, you don't have to worry about figuring out which day Black Friday is going to be every year. Now that we have our reservation schedules set up, we can click to edit our reservation, click on reservation schedules, and we just simply check mark which reservation schedules we want to have apply to this offer. We don't have to have more than one reservation schedule, but it does allow us a handy way to stay organized if we want to have multiple reservation offers set up. And the last of the offer types is called Join Waitlist. A waitlist is just simply a basic form where people can enter their name, their phone number, and their party size, and you'll notify them via text when you're ready for their party. When we edit the waitlist, there's an option I wanted to show you called PDF printouts. You can enter the text that you want to have on the 8.5 by 11 and then these other sizes. The 8.5 by 11 sample looks like this. People can scan the QR code, and that takes them to a form that looks like this. They fill out the form and click submit, and then the message says, "Thank you, we'll notify you when we're ready for your party." Now they're going to be viewing this on their phone, so it's going to look more like this. Now because they're already a member or a subscriber in the system, it's going to take them right to their points entry page, where they can transfer to staff, and the staff can enter the points for their visit. But if this person were not a customer, when it looks up their phone number, it's going to take them to the onboarding page. So when they're sitting there on their phone waiting for their party to be ready, that's the perfect time to get them to be onboarded into your program. As a staff member, when I go to my dashboard, I can click on the reservation waitlist button, and this takes me to the reservation waitlist page where I can view all of these in order by time. So for the customers who have joined the waitlist, you'll see I have a button to mark as seated. I can notify via text, or I can send a phone call. And I can also open a custom thread so I can text them directly. And finally, I can also cancel. I also have a way here to enter points for their visit. For reservation entries, once the party has arrived, I can click the button to move to waitlist, and then I can also mark them as seated, and I can also cancel. And finally, I can click the redeem page button, which opens the certificate page so I can give them their points and mark their reservation as redeemed. And for customers who walk through the door, I also have an option to look them up under the points entry page and also add them to the waitlist. This admin panel can be used on a phone, or it can be used on an iPad or even a laptop behind a counter. For my notification options, you'll see that I have predefined messages set up. So this is where I want to go to Setup, Predefined Replies, and then here I can set up my predefined reservation waitlist text messages and reservation waitlist phone call messages. The phone calls are handy in case the customer does not reply or respond to a text message. You can create an unlimited number of website bubbles to go in the bottom corner of your website. We can try it out on a test page by clicking this button. After a few seconds, the bubble appears. The first option that you have is to send us a text, and this is the core feature of the website bubble. Customers don't have to call you this way. A lot of people would much rather send a text message. Once they fill out the form, they'll get a reply text from your number, and then they can continue the conversation on their phone. In addition, you can have a sign-up gift, a reservation link, and up to 3 custom buttons. To install the website bubble on your website, you simply put the embed code right on your web page, and we can assist you with that. If you only want the website bubble to go on your business page, you can do that easily by just clicking the button to show on your featured load status. This will show or hide this website bubble on the featured items list on your business page. You can customize the image and the messaging that appears on your website bubble. If you don't want to receive text messages after hours, you can have an after hours message, and then enable text messaging on certain days of the week. In order to provide some variety in your sign-up gifts, you can have it on a rotation where you have a single offer, or you can have a daily rotation, weekly, or monthly. You can choose the reservation offer that you want to use. And finally, you can have up to 3 custom buttons. When you edit a user and go down to the notification section, you'll see a variety of notification options in regards to communications. Communications assigned to me, assigned to others, and unassigned. So when someone sends a text message through your website bubble, or when they reply on the text message thread on their phone, your staff members can be notified and then they can respond appropriately. Staff members can easily respond simply by clicking on the link that they get in their email or their text message. Staff members can also access the communications module from their dashboard when they're logged in. CartQ provides an easy way to log in just by clicking on the user profile and then bookmarking the personal login page. When you create a bookmark on your phone, it's as easy to access as an app, and this only requires a PIN number. So it provides all the accessibility as an app and convenience, but no one has to actually install any apps. Once you've clicked on the link from your email or you've located the thread in the communications module, it's going to bring up a thread that looks like this. The thread will contain the entire history, which means all the messages that have been recently sent by the system to this person. On our form, we can type internal notes that are just visible to staff. We can choose a predefined reply. We can set up predefined replies ahead of time. To do that, we go to Setup, Predefined Replies, and then we can add text messages that are answers to common questions. We have a variety of options here. We can reply and keep open, reply and close, or we can just save it in case we're trying to just save an internal note, or we can save it as closed or mark as spam. We can also assign it to another staff member. The communications module makes it easy to keep tabs on all the conversations that are being had between your customers and your staff. When we're logged into our account and we click on the Home button, we want to click on the Essentials tab, and that's going to show us all the essential things that we need to do that somebody else, like a CartQ support person or a CartQ certified partner, can't do for us. So obviously the first thing we're going to have to do is the CartQ sign up. We want to upload our logo, create a primary location. For payment integration, CartQ supports PayPal or Stripe, and both of those services make it really easy to integrate with. You just follow the wizard to set them up. If you already have a PayPal account or a Stripe account, it makes it even easier because you just simply link and authorize your Stripe or PayPal account to CartQ. That enables CartQ to facilitate transactions on your behalf so that your customers can check out using the CartQ checkout page, and you get paid directly through your PayPal or Stripe account. You'll want to review your users and your notifications. That just means deciding which staff members you want to create accounts for, or if you want to have staff members share an account. Sharing an account is fine, but if you want to track activity separately between staff members or have the ability to disable access for certain staff members, then you'll want to create separate users for each staff member. You'll want to find and register a phone number. This just allows you to find a phone number in your area code, and you can find a phone number that has the best combination of digits. And finally, we'll want to submit our 10DLC profile for text messaging. 10DLC is simply a registration process that was introduced in 2021, and it provides a way for businesses to register their phone numbers with the carriers in North America. And it legitimizes SMS messages that are sent out on your dedicated number so they aren't filtered or blocked, even when they may contain links or other marketing related content. CartQ uses Twilio for our 10DLC and for our text messaging service. Twilio is great to work with, and CartQ actually creates a sub-account on Twilio. This is transparent to you, but what that means is Twilio keeps track of the spending for text messaging that only relates to you, and CartQ passes on that spending amount, which is a wholesale rate, so you only pay for what you use. This is added on to your monthly bill. If you want to review these essentials tasks, you don't have to be logged into an account, so you can just click on the onboarding guide, and you'll see all the essentials in the essentials section. Once the essentials are completed, we can move on to the onboarding section. And these are things that somebody else, like your CartQ certified partner or a CartQ support person, can help you set up. And you obviously don't have to set everything up, but it does help you just guide you through the process and give you more instructions and more in-depth documents on each topic. And it also shows you a green tag that says completed when something has been completed. CartQ has a number of helpful reports. You can view a list of all your patrons, all of your reviews, orders, certificates, redemptions that have happened, transactions, these are payment transactions, users report, which tells you activity on users, an overall activity log, and also your upcoming marketing blasts. But one of the main ones I want to touch on is the revenue report. The revenue report shows you everything going on in your account at a glance. You can easily email the revenue report to an email address for a certain date range, and also under notifications, you can have it set up to automatically email you the revenue report every day, every week, or every month. Well, I hope that you found this walkthrough video helpful, and I look forward to seeing how CartQ can help you in your business.